We are live. I'm Naijha Wright Brown, host of Naijha Speaks, also contributing for Unchained TV and Black USA News. And yes, I don't have any lights on, so I got to put my lights on. So funny, so crazy. More vegan block parties. This one is in Richmond, Virginia, and the Avenue Market on Pennsylvania Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland is going meatless this Monday. Here to talk to
Yay.
us about the So Vegan Block Party is Adriea Clarke, and then we will be connecting with Dominic Farmer Nell to give us the deets on the Meatless Monday situation at the Avenue Market. What's going on, Adriea?
Hey, how's it going, Naijha? I'm well. How are you?
Good, good, good. Busy, busy, busy. You got
You
something
know it.
coming up, right?
I got
You know
something
what?
coming up on Saturday. It's going to be
Yeah.
here before we know it.
I got the website. Let me just bring this website up. This is
Yes,
what, the
pull it up.
third? What is this? The third, fourth? How many
Yes.
years have you been
This
doing
is
this?
the third. We know what happened, why it's not the fourth, but yes, this is the third Soul Vegan Block Party.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. I was there last year, representing Black Vet Society, and we had
You
such a
were.
great time. So talk to us.
Yes.
What is going on this year?
Well, first and foremost, with this being the third event, we have one major change. The location has changed. It is not going to be at Chimborazo Park, which we love Chimborazo, but we are going to be in historic Jackson Ward at Abner Clay Park. It's still in Richmond, but it's going to be at Abner Clay Park, which is
So
in Jackson Ward, as mentioned, but that is a historic Black neighborhood. So I'm really excited about being able to move and have something in a different part of the community, but still be able to have it in the city.
that is so exciting. I mean, when people change up things each year, so new location.
Yeah,
Because I know Chimborazo Park was awesome last year, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on at Abner Clay this year.
yeah.
You said historic. That's always a big thing. Um, Talk to me about the vegan block parties, because I know this is the second interview I'm having, because I know there's one coming up in Baltimore too. What is the
Yeah.
big thing about the vegan block parties, and what's the difference between the block party versus a festival?
Well, we didn't want to use the word festival or fest. We wanted to give it like a little bit of an extra punch as far as the name, which is why we chose block party as opposed to fest or festival. But you're still going to get everything that you get with a traditional festival. You're going to get food, you're going to get vendors. We're also going to have speakers. We're going to have uh, workout section, so we're going to have a little bit of movement to go along with the great food that you're going to eat, and maybe burn off a little bit of those calories that you ate so you can maybe eat a little bit more. So we're also going to have we're going to have speakers who are going to talk about the benefits of going plant-based or going more plant-based. We're going to have a nutritionist, and we're going to have two cooking demonstrations, so I'm really excited about that instead of just one like we traditionally had.
So what who is on the program this year? And I'm bringing up the site this just to see if we can navigate. And everyone, it's soulveganblockparty.com. I
Yeah.
went and I purchased the water bottles. I think I got some stuff in there, right? And then I
Oh,
think I'm
yeah.
supposed to be on a panel, right? I mean
Yes,
I'm
yes, you
supposed to be on
are.
the panel.
Fingers crossed. Because we'd love to hear you speak. But we're going to have Dr. Asina Madison, and you can go to the talent section at the top of the search bar at the top. Yep,
Look
we're
at
going to have Dr.
that.
Asina Madison. She is a vegan healthcare practitioner in Richmond, Virginia. We're going to have a nutritionist named Jenny Mack. She's coming all the way from New York, New York, to speak to us about her being a vegan with an autoimmune disease. She has lupus, and she's going to talk about how going vegan actually helped her with her lupus. We're going to have three fitness components. We're going to have Body by Maria Jones. She is a bodybuilder, a vegan bodybuilder, who
Nice,
does
nice.
a lot of women empowerment, as well as helping people go vegan. And I think she was raw vegan for a little while. We're going to have line dancing. We're going to have trap yoga. I cannot wait to do the trap yoga. We're going to have our two DJs who have been with us since the beginning, DJ Frank Wright and DJ Ease. We actually had a little mix up in 2019. One was supposed to come at one time and one was supposed to come at the other time. And they both showed up. And let me tell you, they rocked the house. And they actually became really close and worked together ever since then. So it was amazing the way that all worked out. But they're going to be back. And we're going to have Lauren Vincelli and we're going to have Trishelle Florence doing our cooking demonstration. Trishelle is coming from Baltimore. Yes.
Awesome.
The thick vegan is going to be with us. And then Lauren Vincelli is local and she's going to be making a party sub. So she's going to have a 6-foot sub sandwich that she's going to make with us. So making memorable sandwiches. I believe making memorable sandwiches is what her cooking demo is going to be. Because you don't want just a slice of ham and cheese. You want to make it a fantastic meal. And most people think, oh, vegan is boring. No, we can show you how to make veganism exciting in the kitchen. It doesn't just have to be salads. You can make amazing meals with just a few additional ingredients, things that you already have in your kitchen.
And I remember Maria was there last year, right?
Yes, she spoke last year, but this year she's going to do a 5-minute quickie workout and she's going to do it to the percolator. And we love the percolator. Ooh, if you hit a percolator, you cannot not come to the dance floor. So I'm excited about that.
All right, and then you got Ricky Martin.
Yes, he's going to be
living La Vida Loca. Oh, he's going to do the trap yoga. Okay.
Yes,
sounds like fun. So this is all happening this Saturday, the 10th, 1 to 7 p.m. at Abner Clay Park, 119 West Lee Street. Right, Lee Street.
Yes, ma'am.
Richmond, Virginia, and the presenting sponsor is Vegan Action. I am so looking forward to it. Has organizing events become more difficult for you, more easier in your third year? I mean, because coming off of the Vegan Soul Fest, because you were there volunteering a couple weekends ago, it was bigger and better, but it was also very costly and it kind of shut a lot of people out. But the people that was there had a great time. How is it easier to organize now post pandemic? Well, the pandemic, technically people saying it's not over, but is it easier now compared to prior years?
I wouldn't say that it's easier, but I will say that it hasn't gotten harder. Fortunately, I already have a blueprint. I already have an outline. So I just follow a lot of the same steps and then try to add on, try to make it a little bit better. Like this year, since we've moved the event to a new park, we're going to be able to have a main stage. And then at the gazebo, we're going to be able to have our sit down speakers. We'll have our cooking demonstration. But at the main stage, the music is still going to be going. So let's say you're not interested in maybe listening to one of the speakers, or you hear a song that you want to dance to. You have 2 opportunities to do both. But also with things remaining the same, you don't really have growth. And I will say that moving to the new park was an opportunity for me to grow, for me to stretch, because when you have something that's familiar, you get comfortable and complacent. And so that did give me an opportunity to stretch a little bit, and with things moving around, being able to know that I can roll with the punches. And I will say, also having a great team, I was able to bring on some additional people to assist me with this, because in the past, I did it solo with 1 or 2 other volunteers, but being able to kind of grow my team definitely has made it easier in that aspect. But like I said, it hasn't gotten any more difficult.
Yeah, I know. I watched you do a lot of work last year by yourself, and I'm like, man, you definitely got to get some help. And when the help comes and the group gets bigger, it comes with its own set of challenges too. But you can't do everything by yourself. So I'm glad that you got some help. What are some tips you can share with other aspiring event organizers? Because you've been doing this for 3 years, so you kind of, everyone's learning, and we're still learning, and we're 7 years in. What are some tips you can share? Because there are a lot of people, I know a lot of organizers that are starting up a lot of vegan block parties, veg fest, all type of things. What can you tell them?
Yes. So what I would say is to continue to connect, to network. That is I would say the single most important thing that you can do is network, 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 connect, connect, connect. When I was at Vegan Soul Fest, while I was there, I saw some vendors that I had previously and some that are going to participate in this year's event. So, I was able to connect with them and, hey, it's great to see you, to remind them that even though I may not be able to talk to you every day on social media or send you an email, that I still see you and I still value you, but also gave me an opportunity to maybe grab some business cards of a potential new vendor, or maybe I have a connection with this person or get connected with someone else who may be able to be a financial sponsor. But that's one of the biggest tips is to always be networking, always being able to connect, which also may mean that you might also always have to have a business card so that you're not fumbling around trying to give someone information. But I would say that that's the biggest thing: connect, connect, connect.
I agree 100% because I get questioned all the time. Like, how do we do this, or why are we, and how do we get involved with a lot of stuff? It's still all
Yeah.
about who you know and the exposure you get. Networking is still the number one thing to get stuff off the ground. Go ahead, Adria.
Now, I will say, and it just came to me, and this is one of the things that I always tell anyone who comes to me asking for advice: have a budget. a lot of people a lot of people don't realize how important it is to have a budget and then stick to that budget. Write down the numbers. That was one of the first things that was told to me in the very beginning. And call a few places, inquire about how much X, Y, and Z is going to cost, how much are the speakers going to cost, as far as like sound system, how much is it going to cost to rent a stage. For where I live, we have to rent the park. How much is it going to cost to rent the park? Is there another locality or municipality that I can get the park for free? Those are things that I take into consideration. Write
Mhm.
all of that down, come up with a number, and then that helps me to determine what vendor prices are going to be. If I'm going to charge attendees at the event, how much sponsorship money I need to be searching for. So, second tip: have a budget, stick to the budget.
Adria is telling the truth because again, and my learning and organizing, yes, budget is key. And then when you're trying to grow, the budget can grow, and then things can get
Yes.
really out of hand. A lot of times, people want a lot of things, and it's going to cost a lot, and someone really has to pay for it. You can either have your sponsors, your vendors, or
Yeah.
your attendees pay for it. So it's very important to watch that budget, and we learned
Yes.
that this year at Vegan Soul Fest. It was a great event with COVID and the inflation and impacts and all that other stuff. Things can definitely add up really quickly. So you need
Yeah.
to make sure that you know what your budget is and stick within that budget. It's going to be a great time. Adrian, this is not the only thing you do. You're not an event planner 100% all day, every
No.
day. What else do you do for a living?
So professionally, I am a X-ray technologist or radiology technologist. I work in the CT department, so that's what I do full time. I am in healthcare. I've been in healthcare for 16 years, and I'm actually looking to transition out of that. And so I am hoping that with the success of this year's event, that this might be something I could potentially do full time. Because
Woo!
I'm definitely doing it full time plus the full
Exactly.
time. But I was like,
Exactly.
I'm wondering how I can make this work because although it does have its challenges, it's actually really exciting and I really enjoy bringing joy to others. So, yeah,
You
that's what I do.
sound like me. You sound like me. I mean, at some point when you have a passion and you do something for free, let's say, then that is your passion. I can do all the stuff that I do now for free, but you have to make a living. And in thinking about event organizing and festival planning and whatever we're
Hmm.
doing, through Black Veg Society or even through Land of Kush, our vegan restaurant here. You have to love what you're doing. We have a lot of people tuning in. Hi, Tina. Yes, this is exciting. I love going to vegan events and vegan block
Me
parties,
too.
especially those that are geared towards our demographic, whatever that demographic is, the socioeconomic. demographic. So yes, it is very exciting. Oh, Michelle, yeah, thank you. That's that was Vanilli, our Tote cat. She is definitely, she always has to have her big debut when I'm
Guest
online.
appearance.
Yes, yes. Michelle is tuning in from Chicago, 75th and Stony Island for a shindig this weekend. Awesome, awesome. So be well and be safe there. And yes, thanks for organizing this. Michelle is saying thanks for organizing this. So yes, and we need more. I mean, it would be great to see all major cities organizing some type of vegan block party, veg fest geared toward our demographic. You know, sometimes, you know, we
Absolutely.
want to go out and party. Us vegans love to have fun. Hey, Tom, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated.
Well,
What else
Tom,
do
you
you
should
want to
come
share?
down. Well, I was
Yeah,
like,
Tom.
Tom's in
e-
Chicago. Tom should come on down to Richmond next year.
Exactly,
We'd
exactly.
love to have you.
Exactly, exactly. I gotta get out to Chicago too because I heard they have a festival out there. I'm not sure if they had it this year, but I heard a lot of things are happening in Chicago in terms of the Veg Fest. I think Tabitha opened up her restaurant out there. But
Oh,
great to see
wow.
that too. Yeah, the Kel. Yeah, I think that's out in Chicago. What how can we find out more, or how can people connect with you directly, Adria, on the block party? Because as I go to the website, let's bring the website back up again. There were some perks that people could take advantage of. I don't know if these perks are still available. Can people still get the water bottles? Can they still donate?
Yes. Yes, they can still donate. They can still get the water bottles. We have a few water bottles left at the discounted price of $8. They're going to be 15 the day of the event, which come with free refills. But we are discounting them pre-purchase for $12, and then we have an additional $4 off, so you can get the bottles for $8 if you go to the website and click purchase. We also had a friend of the event, which included the water bottle, a tote bag, or you will be guaranteed a tote bag filled with swag, and you would also get a parking spot like at the event. So the event being at a park, it doesn't have a parking lot, so you would have to park in the adjacent neighborhoods on the street. But we had a few parking spots available for anyone who purchased the friend of the event.
I jumped on that.
You did. You did.
I jumped on that
You are
because
on
I
the
have
VIP list.
yes, I have my daughter and her friend are coming with me, so I'm gonna have
Awesome.
two youngins. Oh, that's a good question because my daughter is 10 and she has a friend coming with her who's about 9. Are there going to be things to be done for the kids? Any children's activities that we can look out for to keep the kiddies busy?
Yes, we have a nonprofit that will be out there that will have activities for the children. And this year, since the park has moved, the park hasn't moved, but the location has moved. There is a playground at the park.
Oh
Um, we
wow.
we think about we think about bringing out bounce houses and things like that, but the insurance costs on that,
Liability.
like, I love the
Yeah. The
kids,
liabilities. Yeah.
but
I know.
yes, yeah, it really
Yes.
hikes it
I
up
was at I
back
was
to the
at an
budget.
event and I was at an event and one deflated, so it kind of really got me a little nervous. And my daughter had,
Oh,
I
wow.
think she had just got out of the bounce house and then it went to this deflation. So it was really
Oh,
really scary. So
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
liabilities 100%. You got to be careful. You got the vendors here, and I saw the vendors posted on Instagram. So you see there on the
Mhm.
ticker, if you want to follow Soul Vegan Block Party on IG, is at Soul Vegan Block Party, and they have
Yes.
been shouting out the vendors. Who really sticks out? I mean, I don't want you don't have to put people on the spot as your favorites or whatever. A lot of these vendors I haven't even heard of before, so this is going to be exciting. I always like connecting with new businesses, people that I can highlight. I will
Yes.
be out there definitely interviewing for Naijha Speaks, trying to get some
Yeah.
coverage before or after I eat. Oh, there goes In the Raw with Soul. Definitely
Yes,
know
she's been with
them.
us all 3 years. She's a veteran, so is Nomad Deli. But if you go
Okay.
back up one, we have Thick Mama's vegan pizza. He is coming
Ooh.
from, I think, the Northern Virginia area, so he's going to be new to us this year. I'm excited about him. La Caze, She is Haitian. She's right here in Richmond. So she's going to be
Nice.
bringing out some vegan Haitian meals. A Great
What?
Day Candle Company. Yes, she was with us last year, Bee Bird
Oh
Watcher.
yeah.
She's
I
been with
bought
us
some.
all 3 years. You bought some
Yes, I
candles from
bought the
her?
candles. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna get some more.
Yeah.
Awesome. The
Yeah. So
convenience.
we've
This
got
is
a lot
exciting.
of new vendors that are on board this year, as well as some of our veterans. So I'm excited about that. And it makes me feel good that these people are trusting me to come back. They had such a great time the year before that they're coming back and coming back and coming
Absolutely.
back.
Yes. Zoe's. We know Zoe. We carry
We know
Zoe's
those.
vegan
Yes.
delight desserts in our stores. So that's going to be a treat. Latin
Yes.
Quarter Kitchen. Oh my God. My Latin
Yes.
folks are gonna be out there. So they're gonna have the Latin cuisines.
They are, and you definitely need to check out their page because they just posted their menu. And I know when I get a break, I'm going to be in line to get me something to eat from them.
I love vegan Latin cuisine, so I will definitely be waiting for that. Awesome. I love, Latin cuisine, Haitian cuisine. We had So Beachy at Vegan Soul Fest. Their food
Yeah.
was amazing, so I can't. It's going to be hard to choose. I'm going to have lunch and dinner.
Oh,
Definitely. Soul
yeah.
Sister Vegan BBQ. You know what? Tough Vegan. Oh yeah, they really, with their vegan meat and eat what was it? Eat pussy, not animals.
Not
Loved it.
animals. Yes. Yes. Make you
Love
think.
them. This is
Yeah,
really
she's
good.
coming all the way from Atlanta. I'm excited to have her. But
David
again,
Miller, the
she's one of
author.
those vendors that I met out at an event. I chatted with her for a little bit. We connected, we stayed in contact, and it was like, hey, I'd love to see you. And she said, well, I'd love to be there.
This is amazing. We're gonna have a great. So, folks, if you're heading out to Virginia and you're near the Richmond area, yeah, Kepra. Okay, my people, Kepra is gonna. Okay, I know Kepra
I love
definitely. He's
Kepra.
the coconuts. Gotta have the coconuts. If
Yes.
you are going to be in the area, definitely get out to the Soul Vegan Block Party, soulveganblockparty.com. It's going to be amazing. I think I've only missed one, the first one. I'm
The
not
first
sure.
one.
The first one. So I've been going for the past uh year or so, right? And I've
Yes.
had an amazing time. So you definitely want to get out there to Richmond. Adriea is doing the darn thing, representing
Yeah.
the vegan, black vegan, Afro vegan, whatever you want to call it, vegan lifestyle out in Richmond. What else before we go? Did you want to share?
So another thing that we're going to be giving away tote bags. So the first 300 people who arrive, they're going to receive a tote bag that is filled with swag, coupons, free products. Because I love for people to come and support the vendors, but sometimes you might leave like, well, what can I do when I get home? In the bag, you're going to have a lot of goodies that you can taste and you can try out to show you that being vegan isn't boring.
It definitely isn't.
Right. And also, one of the things that I'm excited about this year is we're going to have a screen printer. So, Studio 23 will be there, and you can purchase a T-shirt or a tote bag that you can screen print yourself. So that's
Oh,
exciting.
that's
Yeah. So we're
so
gonna
good.
have
It's
three
definitely art.
designs, 2 to 3 designs out there that you can choose, and you can purchase a t-shirt or tote bag and screen print your own shirt. But I also wanted to take an opportunity to shout out um my sponsors. So we
Oh, we got
have
to do that. Wait. We
yes,
got
let's
to
shout out
let's
our
go to the website. We got to
sponsors.
go to the website while we're here. We can't just do it like
Yes,
that. We got
please
to make
do.
sure we show them. Yes. There
Yes.
we
So
go.
our presenting sponsor is Vegan Action. They're coming back for a third year, which has been amazing. They are always a great supporter of community and community events. We're shouting out the Richmond City Parks and Recreation Department, Veg Fund. We
Yes.
partnered with 4 Points by Sheraton
I'm
to
staying
offer a
there.
discounted rate. Did you get the
Yes.
discount?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I
Fantastic.
will be staying there. Uh-huh,
Yeah, very
absolutely.
nice. I partnered with them. I didn't partner with them, but I used them last year, and I was like, you know what, we got to make a connection. So, and you know
Hmm.
what, I had an idea, and again, paying attention to other events. I don't want to say stealing from other events, but paying attention and taking notes, which is also why I like to travel to other events to see what they're doing, what I like, what I don't really care for, things that I could utilize at my event. But I believe 2 or 3 years ago, you guys partnered with a hotel. And that's where
Yes, we
I
try
was
to do
like,
that
I
every
think
year.
they did that. And so
Yes.
I said, I should
But that's what
ask.
you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do because the hotels, like, well, I know here in Baltimore there's a direct marketing organization, and then the state has, tourism that
Yeah.
they need to promote. And if you get people in the hotels, that's great for the local economy. So they love
Mm-hmm.
2-day events because it gets people to stay overnight, or people are traveling and are going to go to your event on
Yes.
Saturday, coming Friday. So it's great to partner with the hotel. So that's them. And when you say stealing what? I mean, no one.
Well,
they,
some
they, they,
some people
they
might
steal.
think, oh, you took my idea, and it's like, you know what, there, there's enough
That's
here for
supposed
all
to
of
be done.
us.
That's supposed to
Yeah,
be done.
yeah,
Partnerships with local businesses is supposed to be done. There's nothing stealing
yeah,
about that. You
right.
got a welfare
But
world. Love Dawn.
waffle, yep. Culture Vegan Joint, Black RVA, which is a part of our Richmond Regional Tourism Group. And they have a subsection specific to Black businesses in Richmond. We have Rooted Delights, which is a cheese company, a vegan cheese company right here in Richmond. And they're going
Nice.
to be there with their cheese sauce for their jackfruit tacos. Chef Joseph's is going to be sponsoring the alkaline water. So bring a vessel, bring a
Nice.
water bottle
Nice.
to fill up with some alkaline water. We have Citrus Sand, who's going to be providing the hand sanitizer for the event. So I'm excited about that. Again, local, Black-owned, woman-owned company who makes aloe-based hand sanitizer. Ruby Scoops, she is going to be a sponsor. She's going to be there with ice cream and city parking. They are going to be providing parking assistance for our vendors and our VIP. And the Veggie VA was gracious enough to assist me with helping to organize the event.
I had to take myself off mute. Oh my goodness, this is great. I was going to ask about the parking, because parking is always a challenge when you're going to these events. So it's great that you're
Hmm.
getting these partnerships. Oh, I
Yes,
see Black Veg Society donated, and then who
they
we have
did.
here? Black Disgust.
Jay Frizzle, they donated as a friend of the event. And so we wanted to recognize him or her.
Awesome.
Jay may
Awesome.
be a her.
And then you have your tote bag and raffle donors. So let's talk about the tote bag and what raffles are taking place.
Oh, we're going to have a ton of raffles. We're going to have gift cards. Like we've got gift cards from Wegmans. Danes Dover, they donated a tote bag. It is a huge recycled tote bag. And Papa Delics, they are crunchy mushroom snacks. Oh my gosh, they are amazing. I met them in New York and connected with them and asked them to donate some products so that we can get their name out there. We're going to have coupons from like Blackbird. We're going to have some cinnamon chips from Matzo Project, Liquid IV. They're going to have electrolyte powder that you can add to your water. Yeah, we've got a ton of stuff. Oh, but the
I
raffle.
love it.
But we're going to have gift cards. We're going to have tangible products. We're going to have just a few things from our actual vendors who are going to be donating products that can be raffled off. So who knows what it is, but the raffle is free, but you are going to be in for a treat.
That bitchin' sauce is the bomb, man. They sent me like 20 different flavors. It felt like 20.
20.
That sauce is the bomb. So
It is.
anybody that's I mean, I've had the original, they had chipotle, they had pesto, they had spinach artichoke, they had so I haven't even tried all of them, but we did a tasting in front of Land of Kush and
Yeah,
got testimonials. I have never tasted an almond dip sauce like bitchin'
it is
sauce yet.
amazing.
This dip is nuts. They are
We got
really for real.
we got coupons. So we're going to be giving away coupons, and we used a couple of the coupons to get actual products. We got 5 flavors that you can taste at the event.
Well, folks, I'm gonna go back to the homepage. Soul Vegan Block Party, September 10th,
Yes,
2022. That's this year, 1 to 7. Abner Clay Park. It is going down in
it is going
Richmond.
down.
So
We are
you
excited.
want to be there. So we'll start sharing that. I know we got Farmer Nell on. He's going to be connecting soon. Um, Anything else before we take off? And I'm going to see you this weekend, so I'm
Yeah,
looking
I'm going to
forward
see
to
you
it.
as well. I think it's going to be a great time, a great community event. It is welcome. Everyone is welcome, all ages, all genders, all races. And whether or not you're vegan, you're invited to come out and have a ball with us. We are going to have a blast. I
Tom
can't wait.
says
I
this
can wait.
not to
I'm
be
not rushing
this
it.
not to be missed. I'm going to put the website in the comments. Follow Your
Yes.
Heart. Yes, is going to be there, Tom. That's so exciting. I love Follow Your Heart too. So I'm putting the Soul Vegan Block Party website on there so everybody can see that, so you know
Yeah.
where to go to get more information. It's at soulveganblockparty.com. You have
Yes.
to go down there. This thing is growing and growing. And I think, Adriea, if you didn't mention it, it is free 99, right?
Oh,
Free
yes.
99.
Free 99. Go to Eventbrite, search for Soul Vegan Block Party, register for a free ticket, and you might win something.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna bring Farmer Nell on. Now, I don't know if you met Adriea. Adriea was at
Hi.
Vegan Soul Fest volunteering. Adriea, did you get to meet Farmer Nell? He was
I
awarded
did
as a change
not get a
maker.
chance to meet, but I did
He,
sit through some of your talk.
yes, he is doing his thing in Baltimore. You're muted, Nell. Can we unmute you? Because I can't hear anything you're saying. Let's get him in there. You got to unmute it. Yeah, you muted yourself, Farmanelle. Farmanelle is doing his darn thing in Baltimore. So he's going to be on talking about what's happening at Meatless Mondays at the Avenue Market. There you go. Now we
Good
can hear you
afternoon.
now.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah, so
how you
he's
doing?
definitely making moves in Baltimore. Farmer been doing a darn thing. I think well before Freddie Gray, right, or during Freddie Gray.
That kind of sparked the mission, pretty much.
Adriea is doing amazing things down in Richmond. So if you're ever in that area, I mean, as a
Thanks.
matter of fact, this weekend she has like the biggest soul vegan block party happening. So I'll be down there
Yeah.
covering, doing some things for Naijha Speaks and speaking on a panel. Great stuff going on down in Richmond. So she is the bomb. And she was up at Vegan Soul Fest. So
Mhm.
definitely got to support. We definitely
Yep.
support local, but we also got to support Black, veg, plant-based movement
Yes. Thank you.
all over. All right. Well, it's great to see you. Adriea, please tell people how they can connect with you again.
You can connect with me at Soul Vegan Block Party on Facebook and Instagram. And my personal Instagram is at Plant Based Ace, ACE.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. All right.
All
Be
right. See
safe
you
and be
then.
well.
All
Have a good
right.
one.
Bye.
Bye bye. Laura, now, how are we doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, you got us into this Meatless Monday, and I'm going to share this because we did the first one in August during what was it, the Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month, and then you want to do this thing again. Talk to me. What's up? Meatless Monday at the Avenue. What are
Yeah,
you talking about?
yeah. So, that was a wonderful launch and experience. It was a milestone wherein that at the Avenue Market, the the um the entrance to the Pennsylvania Avenue side was locked and chained for the last 15 years. So the way to kind of open it back up to the community, as well as open up the community to healthier options as far as it's concerned, when it comes to eating and things of that nature. So I gave out around 100 carrot dogs to the community. We had a lot of vegan vendors, and then Fresh at the Avenue is a staple down there. So we were, bringing attention to them and letting letting the community know that they have access to fresh vegetables, at Fresh at the Avenue.
Okay, so is that the overall purpose, to just getting people's faces about, going meatless? And folks, this is happening September 12th. over at the Avenue Market, 1700 Pennsylvania Avenue, from 1 to 5. We'll have DJs, food samples, cooking demos, educational literature giveaways, and more. And then Black Veg Society, City Weeds, Land of Kush, Baltimore Public Markets will be getting together, and Meatless Monday definitely is endorsing this because it's a Meatless Monday. What's the overall purpose? Why are we really doing this?
So that area is identified as what you would call, what is called a food desert, or at the best, a food swamp, which is an area that doesn't have access to sustainable or food that the body can necessarily thrive on, and let alone the mind. And so we're speaking of a community that's in West Baltimore, area code, zip code 21217. And, the historic value of Pennsylvania Avenue, as far as the Black community concerned, is being diminished through the health and wellness of the people. So there's a lot of missions going around, like, the Black Arts Districts that's doing great work, and No Boundaries has been doing great work down there for, close to a decade now. However, we still have the plight of the people with their healthier choices and the options. And so taking the old method of, passing products out, saying, before they were put for sale on the block, I take the same approach with like the carrot dogs, like, all right, passing out testers and samples of a product ultimately that can be pushed on the neighborhood. But instead of something that's going to cause death and despair, we're looking at products that can provide health and wellness. And then so enters a Meatless Mondays, giving people a reason to re-identify what food is, and then also to get the community involved where it's needed. So not just doing something that's a great event or a vegan event, that, we're doing it in a community where, in a community staple, the Avenue Market, that's about to go under reconstruction next year. So it's very key. It's a multifaceted type of situation, where giving the opportunity to vendors that are coming on Meatless Mondays to potentially have a space in the Avenue Market. So it's not just something that's going to be looked at as a novelty. We're seed planting, and we just thinking as a farmer, and then in the nature of a farmer, planting seeds for, future endeavors in community, and how the community can benefit from it, and not just coming in with a plan for community, actually getting the youth involved in the planning process, community, all the big players, and then everybody in between. So, that's where you and I come in with Black Veg and City Weeds, because these are our ongoing missions, whether it's a Monday or not. The same thing with Be More Green. So, and I'd be remiss not to mention the current plight that's going on in Baltimore City, in that neighborhood as we speak, which is the concern with the water. So
right,
that's a huge concern, even with the planning of Monday's event.
Yes,
so
I'm glad you said that.
So Brother Kareem and I were speaking on it earlier, and honestly, I thought this was my schedule was all jammed up. When I looked at this, I thought this was our Zoom meeting. I didn't. So I told him we had a Zoom meeting at 11. So he was calling me, texting. I was like, you know what I mean? So that's in real time. You know what I mean? So the good part about what we're doing at Meatless Mondays is we don't require the need to use the water, because the Avenue Market is closed today due to that.
Wow.
And so it's on standby for tomorrow and Saturday. In the planning for Monday, I'm like, okay, we can still move forward. That's all the more reason to move forward with it on Monday. And then what I would like to do is add a component where we're going to give away water as well.
I was going to ask that.
So looking to have.
Ask that. Yes.
Yeah. So and what I mean by that is to the capacity of having. I'm going to look to pay for water to come from like a actual spring and a well. 50-gallon drum, and then have the community bring their own containers. And we'll probably supply a certain amount of containers, but people can come and fill up their water, even up to a 5-gallon jug. And then that could be a part of the Meatless Mondays mission, because the water is an issue currently. So to address the current need that's already existing with the food, but then clean water and clean air is all a part of the mission too. So that component is looked to be added to it, along with everything else that we plan.
So you just heard what Dominic said. So there's a water crisis going on in Baltimore right now. We're working to get this Meatless Monday at the Avenue Market together. I'm going to share the link to this. He talked about trying to getting this well with purified or clean water. That sounds like we need donations, right? We need donations to take care of the cost for that, right? So when you go to this link, there is something that says donation. 4 days left to purchase a donation, because this is going to need to be paid for. We also have 15 spots for vendors that want to come out and exhibit. But I think the water piece is very important. So donations are requested, or if somebody's going to come down with a resource where we don't have to put money out for that, that is your ask for the viewers or the resources that are out there that can help with this on Monday. So Dominic has already put that out there. We need the water. There's a crisis going on in Baltimore. I guess you're not feeling the bottled brand. You want the official stuff, because that's what we drink here at the Land of Kush in the house. We are getting the water that comes from, what is it, osmosis, whatever. It's that type of water you want to distribute, right? Am I correct? Okay, absolutely. So we need support. So we're putting it out there. Dominic is putting it out there. That's what we need for Monday. Go ahead, Dominic.
And so in addition to that, because Meatless Mondays is going to launch the 3rd edition of what we call the Baltimore City Prevention Convention. And so right on cue with the current plight that we're dealing with in the heart and spirit of prevention, starting off with Meatless Mondays, adding the water component. Our mission at Umar Boxing, we give out over 2,000 pounds of produce every Wednesday at Umar Boxing at 12 p.m. So that's boxing, which is 12-17. And so that's 50-gallon water jug drum that day. And then on Friday, we also do a food giveaway at Be More Green, which is 2036 West North Avenue. And we're going to do another 50-gallon water drum, just deployment of water there too. So we're talking about 3 days next week. It's 150 gallons of water that we're looking to give out throughout the week, just on what I'm looking to cover as far as on the city weeds ends of things. If anyone, all donations are accepted and wanted. Donations can also be water and any other resources that might need to go with water. If someone, anyone that I'm, not going to be subjugated to that, people can get creative. But the main mission right now is clean water to drink, which is like she said, reverse osmosis or alkaline water or spring water. Purified water is good for topical and washing your body. I don't recommend drinking purified water or any water that has any elements to purify it, unless that's your only option in last resort. I would look to drink, spring water, alkaline based water, and then go from there. Reverse osmosis water as well, or distilled water. And then
that mountain water from Liquid Death. We need those cases.
You know what I'm saying? And then all water can be reboiled. So if you have purified water, you can put it in a pot and boil it, and then I would say it's at a drinking level. But purified water is good to alternative bathing water than tap water at this time, because the epidemic that we're dealing with now is they say it's E. coli or something of that nature in the water. And then it's a different level than what we've been accustomed to when that term has been mentioned over the years. So kind of want to mention that it's not just like, oh, E. coli and, something of that nature. It's a different level of it. I believe it's times 4 than the level that was previously experienced. So just to be mindful of that. And so that's, a part of the mission. So we're looking to do 3 water deployments next week. And anybody wants to help with that, that's a part of it. So not just on Meatless Mondays, that'll be Wednesday and Friday at our other food giveaways throughout the week, which is, like I said, a part of the prevention convention.
Are you feeling that the community is receptive to all of this that's going on, whether it's just this Meatless Monday at the Avenue, response to the water crisis now, that's an issue that just developed this week? What are your thoughts about receptiveness of the community and mobilization and people moving to support?
So as far as the first part of the question, the response to Meatless Mondays, just speaking on the one we did in August, it was a tremendous response. It was one that I would say was beyond if there was an expectation, because I still looked at it as mission work and just kind of logistically getting it done. But like from the vendors to the community to just people experiencing carrot dogs, and then if you go on my Instagram at Nellaware, you can see in the reels like how people were in real time, like just people on the street from all different walks of life that came to the event or were just out there. Their reactions to eating a carrot dog, you know what I'm saying? So that alone was good data for me as a business, but it was also like, as far as like, wow, like people really like this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't assume that every move that I make is going to be the thing that's going to make some type of impact. So, and then from the people that didn't get to experience it and they only saw it from the visuals that we had, it was like, they were like, all right, is this going to be every Monday? And then people were asking questions about the avenue, and is the avenue open up? You know what I mean? So it opened up a box of questions that we weren't necessarily ready to answer at the time. So it made me like, all right, let me map this out. That what can I do? What can I do? Contribute consistently. So I was like, I can do this once a month until the end of the year, and then that's when the Avenue Market will go under construction. And then also, in the meantime, the Avenue Market has slots open at the capacity of $80 a day for any vendors that wanted to have a pop-up brick and mortar situation for the next 4 months or a month or whatever the case may be. And then that would also put them in a good placement for the RFP or whatever the process would be for the reopening of the Avenue Market, which would be in 2024.
So you hear that? Yes, because vendors were asking me that too, if this is every Monday. So I guess there is like an interest of having it every Monday, and then the stalls available at the Avenue Market. Someone reached out today because they're filling out an application for Lexington Market and kind of wanted to know, what the requirements were. So there are vendors interested. There are people interested in this event, which is great. That's great receptiveness. But we need more. We need more resources. We need, more support. We need a lot of things. But this is the second one, and in December, once it stops, we're probably going to have to take it somewhere else. So, because people will be looking for something else to do.
And so in addition to that, so I didn't mention that there's also going to be a Taco Tuesday at Be More Green. And that will be starting the 13th, the day after Meatless Mondays, and that will be hosted by DJ Blackstar. So that'll be his mission. And along with that, we've been looking at like what would another Meatless Monday look like at Be More Green. So maybe we do this every other week until the end of the year, and then when Be More Green. Or rather, when the Avenue Market was shut down at the end of the year, we could just move the Meatless Mondays to Be More Green. So already looking to prepare for that based off of the model that we're using at the Avenue Market, if that makes sense.
Love it. Definitely makes a whole lot of sense. You've done a lot of work in the city, Dominic. You won a Change Maker Award from Collectively this year at the We Give Black Fest, Vegan Soul Fest. Well deserved. You also won a Keep It Fresh Fest last year. What are some tips that you can share with aspiring farmers, business owners, event organizers? Because you do a lot of things, and we won't even get into photography and videography, all that other stuff. Let's just, we stick to the farming and to the event organizing and the things that you do as you're a business owner now with the Be More Green. What can you tell? Like, what is that basic foundational information that you can tell someone that's looking to do something? Because I get questions all the time, and I'm like, wow, it's a lot to it because I've been doing this for so long. Atlantic Kush has been open 11 years. And before Atlantic Kush, there was something else I was doing. What can you tell people, that foundation, that basis of how they get started in this passion, purpose work?
Well, interestingly enough, for me, it started there, or starts there with like the passion that you're able to identify the mission of the work. Like with Ariel, some people want to like, hey, I want to help kids. Well, what does that look like? Like, what is your skill set that can help kids, or what is the gap that you see in the community? For me, I've been working with youth for over 30 years. So for me, I'm nothing more than a youth counselor. That was my first job at the age of 14. And like, I feel like I've been that just for the last 3 decades. And so everything that I've done along the way has just been like an addition to the utility belt that I help the community. So in some cases, I don't even become a master of the thing. It's just I know that much more than the youth in the community to be able to spark something in them or teach them the amount of what I know. So it's almost like, hunting and gathering and foraging along the way. I'm not going to be able to bring the whole farm with me, but I could bring some seeds, I could bring some dried leaves or things of that nature, and then also show people how to forage and how to farm and so on. But from a mind state also. So for me to transition into the farmer, it was part of a lifestyle. So it fit into the passion. There was a void, like food injustice all across the board, where everything else was still connected to it. So because I was like a jack of all and a master of a few, well, they said jack of all is a master of none, but they don't realize that a jack of all is still a master of one. You know what I'm saying? And then that is because they're a master of all of them. So that makes that thing one thing also. So that was still something that I was able to take the things that I looked at that I wasn't necessarily good at, or all the failures, like, damn, I wanted to do this and I didn't make football, I didn't become the actor, I didn't become the model, like I wasn't the rapper, I didn't all of these. And then the businessman, like I had a business in Mondama and that didn't work. And, I was stitching hats and, doing embroideries. And so there was so many versions of me, like before this version, that what I looked at as failures. And I just looked at, when I found my passion and my calling, I took all of those things and compilated them into my business. So it's like, okay, now when I relinquished the desire to be the actor, now I'm in front of the camera all the time.
You sound like me.
You know what I'm saying? So, or now when I'm like, all right, I'm not the rapper or whatever. Now I come up with Be More Clean or Be More Green or City Weeds or the City Needs. Like, so it still gets to live. I get to live vicariously through this new version of myself, if that makes sense. And then
No, it does, because you find yourself in just a lot. I can get mixed up in a lot of stuff, good stuff, stuff that oh, why did I do that? Maybe I put too much money here, whatever the situation is, but it's still out of that passion and purpose and then you find how to kind of like center it around you as a whole person. You know, anybody watching Land of Kush and Me understands that's how the event started. That's how, you know, Black Veg started, and that's how the networking goes. And how do we bring everybody in so that we can all win in this? So I get it 100%.
And then so for the self journey, because that's on like the passion, the mission, and then you formulate a vision, and then you build your business plan off of that and your business model. And I'm algebraically thinking, so I always use what was given, what was around me. So I use like organizations like For My Kids that I was working with for years, doing behavioral therapy, clinical mentoring, picking kids up. I go back to the Land of Kush when, you know, I was, you all cradled me from the inception of City Weeds, as far as like making sure I was involved in everything that you were involved with. And so that was a huge part. So creating relationships was the biggest part of like, if my business model is looked at as anything successful, is the successful relationships and continuing to cultivate those relationships. I say this all the time. In a city like Baltimore, we all know the same people, but do you have the same relationship with those people? Like, people, I know this one, I know that one. I'm like, hey, everybody knows everybody, but like, what skin in the game have you put in with these folks? Like, how much money did you put up to that event? How much money did you lose with these folks? You know what I'm saying? How much money did you spend at that business? And not to base it off of just the money. What did, you know, like I said, skin in the game. Like, what boxes did you lift? You know, what things did you do that you didn't post on Facebook? You know what I'm saying? Like, people see, and me being a visual media person, it allows me to be able to show people what I'm doing. So honestly, in my heart of hearts, I feel like my like these awards, sometimes I feel like they're social media awards because the support isn't still at the level that I'm looking for that's needed for the impact to be made. So not for the namesakes of my businesses or anything else. It's more so for the mission. So when I get certain awards like a change maker, I'm like, wow, well, what change have I really made? That's the question I'm asking myself. And I'm like, if I don't post these pictures or do these reels or do these videos, it really won't exist to people, and I wouldn't get these awards. Like, I was talking to this to a close friend of mine. Like, there's a lot of people that have put in a lot of work in their respective fields, but no one was watching. They're not been broadcasted. No one sees it, or in their heyday, no one knew with it. So it doesn't, like, you have to prove it each and every day. So because I'm aware of the algorithms and all of that, I feel it gives me an unfair advantage sometimes, even though I'm really doing the work, even though I'm really living in integrity. Because I'm able to show it people in a way that it gets seen and all across the board, because I understand how that works. It's like, all right, that's why I get the awards. You know what I'm saying? And that's my own personal challenge. I'm not going to take away from what people see and what I'm doing. But in some cases, the majority of the people only see it. Like, I'm like, man, I get all these awards, but ain't nobody even been to the store. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then, like, you know what I mean? They might come through and grab a bag or two, but it's like, I got to end up doing events at the Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so be it as it may. These are not complaints. You know what I'm saying? I'm not complaining about, these are my observations, and all it does is challenge me to work harder. I don't look at it as anybody's supposed to do anything. I don't live in the world of I wish or woulda, coulda, shoulda. So I sleep well at night knowing that I have a lot of work to do each and every day. So the journey for Farmer Nell, this is what I tell with anybody that's like listening to, like, hey man, get to the point. Like,
that was the point. I love it.
well, so lastly, I would leave with, and this might be touchy for some people, but like, I was raised very diversely, tribally and religiously. So like, probably like, I'm like split into 4 different pieces, from like Native American, tribal, spirituality, different versions of Christianity via Episcopal and Seventh-day Adventist, also being Islam, and also, you know, growing up in the JCC Jewish community. You know what I'm saying? So I was well versed religiously. So I look at those as subjects, and so I draw from something from the Christian doctrine when they're like, you accept Jesus Christ into your heart as your personal Lord and Savior. So that model I've taken to create Farmer Nell, and like that's the model or the version of myself who I aspire to be. That's the Jesus Christ that I've accepted to be in myself. So when I say I'm doing God's work, that's my living testament and example of it. And it's not going to be through the visual of a man that I've never actually seen. It's going to be the visual of a man that I see each and every day, who is myself. So, so Farmer Nell, so Farmer Nell, it might get looked at as a narcissistic, but it's really like everybody loves Farmer Nell. But I know, in fact, no, not everybody likes Dominic now. So I'm a human being in the flesh that is full of mistakes each and every day. So my goal is always to be the best version of myself, which is Farmer Nell to me.
You
So
can, that's all you can be is you. I understand the language you speak, you know, God and me, God and you, God and us. And that's a great segue into, you need to be tuning in to NaijhaSpeaks.com every Thursday at 11. Subscribe, like, share, and please comment on this and whatever Dominic has shared with us, because he's dropping the jewels. The Black Veg Society is meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey. Please support us at blackvegsociety.org, because we don't just support us as the society. The society is people like Dominic. The society is people like Adriea Clarke, who's doing Soul Vegan Block Party in Richmond. The society is like my peeps out in New York, Amawale Adewale, and Nadia Moy, his wife, and the Liberation Farm. So this is what you're supporting. So you need to be tuning in so you can find out about all these wonderful people doing the real grassroots work that need your authentic support. I can tell you a lot that went on with the festival at Vegan Soul Fest. The experience was wonderful, but we need the support so it doesn't cost $90. But anyway, Dominic, what are the last words? We are going to have the Meatless Monday at the Avenue. We need the water. We need the water. Please hit Dominic up. Let me just make sure I put the Nellaware at IG up there again. You need to be hitting him up. We need water. The city is in crisis, and we need your help. So bring it down to the Avenue Market, 1700 Pennsylvania Avenue, or Be More Green if you want to shout that out. Dominic, please, this is where we're going to close. What else do you have to say?
Man, thank you for having me on here. Like I said, you know, the mission is out there. Don't want to get any redundant than I've already been. What I normally haven't done or don't think about is I want to thank everyone that has actually supported me thus far. I'm so tunnel vision, and it's not an excuse. This is just my observation of myself. I'm so tunnel vision that I haven't been looking back. So when I'm like, it's like creating a tunnel. So, and I know that I'm not doing it by myself. However, every day I'm waking up with that journey and that mission at mind. So, that doesn't mean that I don't give thanks for each and every piece of my puzzle that has created and helped City Weeds along the way, from the businesses to the people who buy products, to the people that come up to me and just ask questions and don't buy products. That fuels the mission sometimes even more. Even though, like, yeah, we need the dollar to continue the mission. Just the fact that people are interested in what I have to say is one of the most humbling things that could have ever even occurred to me in my life. So I'm learning to adjust to that and making sure that I'm more accessible to the people if in fact I haven't seemed like it or have been. So that's for anybody that feels like they've been slighted by my, you know, my forgetfulness and me taking pride in my memory. I'm human, and my aspiration is just to be, as much as Farmer Nell as I can possibly be.
Blessings all, says Michelle. Paige, shout out to Paige, Unchained TV. We appreciate your support. Unchained TV definitely allows us to reach people internationally. So this is being cross-posed to Unchained TV. So shout out to Paige making all that happen, and Jane Velez Mitchell. And yes, Michelle, it is all facts. So follow Dominic at Nellaware if you want to know what's going on in his world, as you should. And meet us at the Avenue Market on Monday, September 12th, for Taco Tuesdays at Be More Green. Just follow Nellaware. It's always a pleasure. That's why you with the society, because we know the work. We all need to be together. We all the same tribe. Anyway, everyone, whatever you do this weekend, please be well, be safe, and boil that water if you are in those affected areas. Thank you. Have a good day.